Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I have the great pleasure of having my good friend Lucas Murphy, aka the Beat of KC, on the show today. And in this video, we are going to talk all about Chiefs rookie wide receiver Jaylen Royals. So, Lucas, Jaylen Royals has been the topic of conversation at camp. He's been getting a lot of reps with the ones, and his chemistry with Patrick Mahomes is continuing to grow. I want to get your thoughts on this. Where do you think he's going to slot in his rookie season? And do you think that he could be a part of this offense going forward?
For sure. First of all, thank you for having me. Secondly, to answer your question, yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Jaylen Royals. I think, him coming out of Utah State, the way he comped, I think it just makes sense to why he's with the Kansas City Chiefs and why he was drafted. I think what you're seeing in camp really solidifies what he was projected. And I think, too, you're really seeing a very almost replication of what Rashee Rice is. Not saying he's going to do the exact same thing, but I think you're really seeing like the shiftiness, the agility. You're seeing the hands. That's a big thing Andy hit on in his recent press conference. He talked about Jaylen Royals. He really talked about, like you said, the connection with Mahomes is starting to grow more. He has, again, phenomenal hands. I think you're seeing the quick in and out routes. And so I think you're really building a good player within an offense that needs to kind of open up the passing playbook even more. One of the things, too, is like we've seen rookies come in here. So we've seen Rashee Rice come in here. We've seen Xavier Worthy. But the thing is they kind of were specific to certain things. In this situation, you have a looming suspension for Rashee Rice. So you're going to almost have a guy that is able to plug into that very position and kind of go and do what an expectation is with a Rashee Rice. So I'm really excited. And again, I think he has a massive, massive upside.
Well, Lucas, you made a great point. With the Rashee Rice suspension kind of looming over everybody, Rashee Rice is going to have an opportunity to make an impact day one that he wouldn't normally have. And listen, I am fully aware of how difficult it is to fully understand and grasp the Chiefs offense. Like, it takes rookie wide receivers a long time to learn the playbook and gain that trust of Patrick Mahomes. And you kind of saw over the past couple of seasons, whether it was, due to injury or just, lack of talent, there have been guys like Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy who have been called upon very early on in the season to kind of be the guy. And last year it was Worthy when Rice got hurt, and the year before, Rashee Rice was the only guy on that roster that was really worth getting targeted. And so, the Chiefs have demanded a lot out of the rookie wide receivers, and with Rashee Rice facing a suspension, and, you've already seen so far in camp, Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy have both been banged up. Jaylen Royals might get a shot to produce in this offense right away.
For sure. Yeah, and I think it's rightfully earned. I mean, the dude shows up, he works, he goes out there and does what he's supposed to do. Again, I think if you're getting good, I guess, positive reinforcement from your head coach, who really doesn't give a whole lot of kind of hype or early on positive reinforcement, I think that just speaks volumes to what he's been doing in camp for not only what we can see as fans, but what they're seeing outside of just the vision of fans. So like, is he putting in the work in the receiver room? Is he going to the weight room? Is he doing all those types of things? I mean, to me, that sounds like what he's doing. And so that should deserve and give him the opportunity to go out there and play and produce. And I think, too, like, we're going to see that. I mean, obviously, the first preseason game's coming up. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jaylen go out there and have a phenomenal game.
When, like you said, the Chiefs are going to be in a position where they can make him a part of the offense. And that's so great for a rookie, and to kind of build his confidence, to have his head coach and, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, who's kind of the leader in that room, talk so highly about him. That's only going to help with his confidence, and I kind of expect the rest of it to just follow. And, this is a guy that coming out of college, going into the draft, he was kind of mocked as a second-round draft pick, and the Chiefs got him in the fourth. And so he kind of had that, upper echelon, pedigree as a prospect. and the Chiefs kind of stole him in the fourth round, there were analysts saying that he's going to be the steal of the draft. And so he has got some, pressure and expectations to produce, but I think that, as we've seen so far in camp, he's handled it quite well.
Well, to kind of counter off that too, I think as someone who's coming into this current offense, I mean, you've kind of listed the receivers that are potentially in front of him. So you got Rashee Rice, you got Juju Smith-Schuster, you got Sky Moore, you got Xavier Worthy. We're going to classify Travis Kelce in there as well because he's going to get catches, he's going to get targets. So there's a lot of guys in front of him that really have more of a weight on their shoulder or are expected to more or less carry this offense. Where Jaylen Royals can kind of just go out there, be himself, fill a role, and just go out there and catch the football and just do what he has to do. So I don't necessarily think that there's a ton of pressure on him to really perform. I think it is just like, hey, this is a learning piece for you. We want you to project and to get to this point, but there really is, like, you got to look at everybody's in front of you. So I think too, on the backside of that, how do you game plan for somebody like that? If you're the opponent, you have all these different targets, then now you're plugging in a potential replica of a Rashee Rice in a way, and you have to account for him if he's out there with a Rashee Rice, a Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy, and a Travis Kelce. That's insanity to me. So, like, yeah, man, I think he's probably having more fun than we can even see just because he's learning from all these phenomenal. Travis Kelce's obviously a Hall of Famer. I mean, we saw what Xavier Worthy did in his rookie year. We're seeing what Rashee Rice is doing when he's healthy and when he's not in trouble. And so there's so much that can kind of contribute to his success that, yeah, man, I think like he's just gonna be that guy.
When you make a good point that Rashee Rice, I guess not Rashee Rice, Jaylen Royals isn't going to be tasked with carrying the Chiefs offense. That's a
Right.
unrealistic expectation. I'm not expecting him to go out there and put up 700 yards, but
Right.
I think that if he can go out there and do his job and find a role in this offense, he can have a very solid impact year one. And I want to talk more about, potential expectations, and we'll do that right after this ad break. This video is sponsored by my wonderful friends over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but time is critical. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, so no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on healing. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Huge thanks to the sponsors that have supported this channel all offseason long. So, Lucas, when we talk about expectations, a lot of Chiefs fans will throw out the, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'm not that in on the hype train. I think Jaylen Royals is going to be a great piece. I just don't think that he's going to have that, role in the offense year one. I think he could have a very successful season if he caught, let's say 30, 40 balls for, 400 to 500 yards and a couple touchdowns. I think that's a really good rookie season.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and that's kind of what I'm even envisioning for him is I think you're going to potentially see that number higher early on when we get the Rashee Rice suspension because he is going to be out. I mean, we don't know the game number, but I think early on you're really going to see a higher number for him because of the connection, because of the suspension, and then obviously there are specific routes that certain receivers run. Like we know Xavier Worthy, what type of wide receiver he is. Like he's not doing a lot of the over the middle type of stuff that a Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be doing, a Sammy Watkins, those types of players we've had. Like Jalen's going to be more of your guy that's going to catch the ball and look for yak. And so, yeah, I think early on, without Rashee Rice, you're going to see him really kind of come out the gate and get good catches, get a lot of opportunity, and really kind of get those yardage early on. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm envisioning, man. I do believe like you're looking 30 to 40 type, at least catches. I would say probably 400, 500 yards. But again, I mean, you never know, and that's the thing and that's so unique about Andy's offense and Mahomes. Like Mahomes may truly build that rapport with him, and he may go to him in a lot of key situations. So that number could be on the lower end. It could be, right where it's at. So, but yeah, I'm right there with you on everything.
I definitely think that the Chiefs have a guy in Jaylen Royals. He just might not,
Yeah.
be that guy right away just because it is so hard for rookie wide receivers to find their footing in this offense. But, as we've kind of mentioned over the course of this video, it's kind of the perfect storm. There's, a looming suspension for the Chiefs' number one wide receiver. There's other guys that are banged up. If there's any opportunity that, Jaylen Royals can seize the day, like, it is right now. And so I do think that is encouraging. And, we're both super optimistic that he could be a very solid receiver in this offense. But we're just going to have to wait and see. And as, training camp develops, we finally will hopefully find out Rashee Rice's suspension. And, hopefully Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy can stay healthy. But either way, I do think that Jaylen Royals has a role in this offense. And if he's your number 4 wide receiver, you're in a really good spot.
For sure. For sure. And I think too, like just to kind of go off of that too, I think with, the ability to just learn, I think that's going to be the biggest thing for him is just to learn what the NFL is about. Like we're talking about a player who hasn't even experienced a game inside Arrowhead yet. Like the jitters, the adrenaline that's going to be pumping when that crowd is at max. Like we're going to see a dude that I think feeds off of that and is going to take it to another level. And so I'm really excited to see him get that opportunity, especially with the injuries to those guys already. And it doesn't sound like anything's too serious with any of them, but that just creates more opportunity. I mean, he's getting a ton of opportunities in camp. He's going to get a ton of opportunities in preseason. So yeah, man, I think I'm super stoked for him.
I really think that, in a couple of years, you're going to have a just nasty trio of Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Jaylen Royals. And that's something that Chiefs fans just wait. Just be patient because it's coming and it is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But Lucas, I think that is all the time we have in this video. You have anything else you want to add?
No, man, I think we covered it pretty well. We knocked it out.
And so my final question for you, Lucas, is where can the people find your stuff?
Yeah, head on over to the Beat of KC on X/Twitter. I still have to say Twitter. That's just kind of what I grew up on.
It's Twitter. It's Twitter.
Yeah. And I'm actually getting the YouTube channel fired back up. So head on over to the Beat of KC at YouTube, and you're going to start getting all kinds of content: baseball, football, college football's coming. So you're going to be getting everything. So I'm back.
Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely flood Lucas's channel. Like, subscribe, tell him I sent you. Let's get his subs up. And I'm definitely excited to have Lucas back on the channel and back creating content. For those of you that have been watching the channel for a long time, we've done stuff for years. And so I'm glad that, Lucas is getting back into the content creation game. Go subscribe to his channel. The link to that is in the description. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.